So Tay, I got a question for you, man. What's your goal?
My goal is to do it big, like my goal is to make it to the league. So like my uncle said, like me and my uncle talked about, it was like, so if this your goal, you know, make it happen. Like don't have no, like he didn't say like don't have no, plan B, just in case, say if I get hurt or something like that. But it was like if this my goal, I have to make it happen, So if that's my goal, I'm gonna do everything I can just so I can achieve the goal. And that's make the league.
Welcome to the Eat Cypher. Flow harder than the hands on Peter Piper. And now we would like to introduce you to your rivals. It's like Ali and Tyson. The hook miss with the liking. Show nothing, Mr. Bison. Maximus and Leonidas. You were in the booth with Titans. Goons, goblins, and Vikings. It ain't really nothing like us.
Yo, welcome back. It's your boy, Courtney Anderson, a.k.a. Big C, one half of the L.I.T Code Podcast with Edgar Jones, the podcast where the menu is short and sweet. There's plenty for your mind to eat. As always, we want to thank y'all for watching, for listening, whether you've been watching it on Facebook, whether you've been watching it on, what else, on YouTube, listening on Spotify, Ghana, Apple Podcasts. We appreciate y'all, man, because like I always say, without y'all, we'd just be a couple of dudes talking. You know what I'm saying? So today, we actually have a couple of special guests on, both Rayville natives. I've been knowing their family forever. Mr. B-Boy worked with my Uncle George in the funeral home for a long time, back in the Gap. I went to school with Punkin, Nene and Netta. I like that. So they've been around a long time. One up to the top left, that's the Christian Boogie Wilson, graduate from Rayville High School, McNeese State, LSU, and just the overall good guy, man. I shouted him out a few weeks ago on Facebook because I feel like we focus on the negative so much. There's so many negative stories out there. But him, Watkins, and what's my boy name? What's Elmo's son name? The Christian him out. Edmund. So those three guys, man, they've been together from high school to college, pledged Alpha together, still support each other to this day. They still hang out with each other, but they ain't on no negative stuff. It's all positive, right? Uplifting each other at all times. That's something that don't get highlighted a lot. So I wanted to put a light on it because we usually talking about some of us doing something else, like not taking care of responsibilities, drugging hard, shooting, whatever. We like to highlight that more so than the positive, right? So I just wanted to give him his flowers, him and his crew. Shout out to y'all. And then at our bottom right, we have his nephew, the highly touted Mr. Tay'Shawn Wilson, out of May Creek High School out there in Texas. By way of Rayville, we're gonna still shout Rayville out, but better opportunity out that way. And then he took it. He took that opportunity and he's running with it, man. How many offers we sitting at now? 19, 18, 19 offers right now. That's big. Another year to go. I've seen them shutting down stuff at camp. You might have seen them on on ESPN doing WWE moves on some unfortunate kid. That was it was obviously a drill. They didn't know where he was from, right? Because it was obviously a drill where somebody had to stop him from getting to the ball and then stop him from getting back across, right? And where we from, we grew up on competition, right? That's like an everyday thing for us. So I don't really think they knew who they threw him in there with, but he found out the hard way, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to both of y'all, man. I'll let Edgar say his piece and then we'll get it rolling.
No, man, like Coy said at the beginning, appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for the support. This would not be possible without y'all, liking, subscribing, and honestly, too, being able to spread the word and continue to spread my podcast. And I also say this, the feedback has been definitely important. you know, there are days, man, where it could be challenging. Sometimes we trying to, you know, battle through our own personal problems that we're dealing with and things we try to navigate through. So getting those uplifting words from y'all and knowing that this has had an impact on y'all and y'all's personal lives, that's huge. You know, that's huge. So that's all I got.
Right on. So I'm gonna jump right in it, Tay. I'm gonna throw a couple names at you. And when you hear them, you tell me a little bit about them and what they mean to you. And I'll start at the top of the list with Miss Punkin Wilson. Like when you hear that name, what does that mean to you?
Like it mean everything. Like he had me. Like when I like
breaking up. Hold on, right quick. Can you hear him, Elgin?
Chopping up a little bit.
Chopping up a little. Maybe he probably just got to get a little closer to the. He probably ain't catching his voice all the way from back there. Let's try it now.
So like I hear my mom name, it's like everything to me because like she my everything, like my mom, you know, like she had me, you know. So when I think of her, it's like everything, like she's my.
Yeah, and I know she extremely proud of you. Like I can remember her having you in tow everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like she everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Walking around Rayville, wherever she was, you were. And I know she proud of you. I want to kick a shout out to her too because her allowing you to go with your uncle is big. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, some women have pride issues, or parents in general, right? Just a better opportunity somewhere. A lot of people don't want to let their babies go. You know what I'm saying? That take a lot. That's a big sacrifice. But she allowed you to do it. Your uncle took you in, y'all training, y'all working hard, and she's seeing the upside of it now. You know what I'm saying? So the next name on my list is Netta John, right? When you hear that, what do you think?
Are you talking about my nana?
Yeah.
When I hear my nana, it's like she's the best grandma ever. It's like her and my mom, like they support me 100%. So it's like I'm gonna give 100% for them everything I do. So it really mean everything to me.
I got you. And last but not least, Boogie Wilson, your uncle up there.
I think I mean like he's one of my everything too, because you know, like he didn't have to, you know, take me in and, you know, put me through all the training and all that. But he did anyway, you know. Like he worked the things out with my mom, got me to Texas. And like ever since then, never looked back, and we've been like bonded ever since and just going up ever since then.
I got you. So Boogie, at what moment did you know like you wanted to take them in and get them out there to where you were and really?
I'm gonna go a little bit in depth. So it all started, man, with the previous coach at Rayville. He had reached out. I tried to have, you know, Tay was coming in his 9th grade year. You know, they had changed the offense. Bercy coached me. So I had went to Kansas to coach college ball. And I was in contact with him. He straight up told me, he was like, hey, I can't do nothing with him. I'm like, what you mean you can't do nothing with him? He ain't a bad kid. Like, in 9th grade, you mean what you mean? Like, treat him like any other kid. So he called me. I talked to Tay, got on him about some things he was doing. We went back. It was getting close during the season, man. And it was Tay's first game starting against, Tay, what was the team? Faraday? It was, to me, man, it was just being and go and play. It was kind of dysfunctional, you know, I'm just being honest, brutally honest. And like I talked to the coach, me and Coach Duke, we talk all the time, and I was just like, man, like it's just how it's different in Texas, man. I'm just being honest. It's like they would rather just tell you how good you are rather than you know, like if someone's good, they'd be like, man, that kid good. instead of, man, you know, not beating them down, but like, hey, you good, but you got to level up, man, because you know you got to raise the level playing. So man, just after talk, just out of talking with them, you know, I told the coach he called me again at the end of the season, end of the season, because Tay didn't travel with him, and we had a meeting that end of the fall, and he was just like that he would love him back, but it's nothing he can do with him. And at that point, I was just, and then his grades was beginning to drop too, and I was just like, yeah, at this point, I don't see no positive in this. So, and then I feel like he would do better with me, because during that time also when I was in Kansas, he wanted to move up there with me, and I was just like, it's different in Kansas, man. It's a culture shock. And I was like, he ain't ready for that life.
Yeah.
Yeah, he ain't ready for that life. So I'd rather just move back down. And that's when I decided to just move back down, man. And we ended up made the decision to move to Houston. My Uncle Junior live in Richmond. We live in Katy. So ended up making that decision. Like I said, the rest reached out to some people I trained with. Rest was history from there, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, I see me watching it was a picture you put up a while ago. I think it was just you and him at a camp, maybe, like in the shadows almost. And it kind of spoke to me, because I used to coach Little League Junior High, right? And I helped at the high school 1 year. But I was JW's first coach, right? So we cousins, we're not uncle and nephew, but I know what that feels like to put in work with somebody that's cut from your same cloth, right? And then start to see that progress and start to see him reaping benefits and playing with confidence because the work's been put in already. That's something I can say about you, Tay. I see you at these camps, and they got these guys who's supposed to be big time receivers. They 6'3", 6'4", they outweigh you, but the heart and the confidence is there. Talk about them, and when did you know, like, I'm that guy, like I'm one of them? When did you realize that?
It took a little minute. It took a little minute for me to gain that confidence, because like when I first started playing corner, you know, we had like the 7-on-7 tournament in Dallas. So it was my first time playing corner. Like, it wasn't my first time playing corner, but you know, like live at corner. So it was some guys that like some really good guys. Like one receiver, Evan Stewart, like number one receiver in this class. So like I had to hold him like the first game, and like it was pretty rough, but you know, it humbled me. So I have to, like, we played Aaron Anderson in the car, and it was like he called on me too, like, so we just like training, like just started training a lot. Like every time we go to camp, I see improvement. Like it'll be improvement every camp. So it's like after that, I started shutting down camps, so I just started gaining my confidence ever since then.
Yeah. As you got anything for him?
Yeah. I got a lot. Hey, first of all, Boogie Man, you know that what you did, bro. That took a lot of you getting outside of yourself, man. That's basically what you saying. It's bigger than me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you making it about, you know, your nephew, man. So I salute you on that. And I know that took a lot to be able to do that, you know, because here you are in your life when really is all, I mean, you going at your own speed, you know what I'm saying? You coaching, doing your thing or whatever. And now there's a problem that comes up with your nephew. And a lot of times, man, you know, people may be there and get some advice, but then they just kind of turn the other cheek and keep moving. But you went back and said, you know, I need to help my nephew out. And I need to actually put him in a position where he could be successful. So again, salute you on, you know, you getting outside of yourself and saying, and being selfless and saying, hey, yo, it's about my nephew, and it's about putting him in a position kind of digressing, going back for a second though, talk about the challenge. Because Tay, I'm pretty sure that was a challenge for you leaving. You uprooting, you basically leaving, going to a whole neck of the woods that ain't your neck of the woods. There's some goon goblins and bikers around there. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a huge jump. So Boogie, I'll let you go first, talking about, you know, the challenge that came with that. And then, you know, after that, Tay, man, you can jump in and share, you know, how you felt, man. Cause that's a lot, man. That's a lot that people don't talk about either. You know what I'm saying?
Man, it was a hard challenge, man. Cause like if anybody know me, like I'm diehard Rayville, I'm repping Rayville like to the fullest, man. And it kind of broke me. And I was talking to my lady about it, man. When we went and watched him, me, like my whole family went and watched his first game. And man, he was getting killed back there. And I was just like, I think I'm gonna take him, man. Like, you know, he's playing quarterback. Let's be real. It ain't too many 5'9" quarterbacks, you know, that's gonna make it to the next level. So I was like, and I had been talking about like, man, I think you do better at corner, just because you already athletic, you fast, you strong, you're hard, and playing college ball, it kind of give you that. I see, like you could be 5'9" and excel, as long as you have the proper intangibles. So man, that challenge it hurt. Like I said, I talked to mom about it. She was like, yeah, you know, go ahead and make the change, and just talking to Ed, talking to Sean about it. I talked to him about it. He at first he was like, he wanted to, but then he kind of got homesick because he would come, because every summer, the difference though, I would say about Tato, every summer when he was with Rayville, even in the 8th grade, he would come out and train with me during my summer camp. So when I was in college, he would come out and train with me and some of my boys. So some of the people that went on to play college ball and had free agency in the NFL, Tay'Shawn have been around them. So it kind of helped them also to be down there and see it. So when it came to that challenge, I was like, hey man, you know, if this what you want, like this what it's gonna take, you know, you're gonna have to make some sacrifices and leave home because you got friends. And I had to tell them, like, man, just look at my friends. You know, some of my friends, you was around me all my life, like nothing against my friends, because, you know, I turn everything into a positive. I was just telling him to do the same thing as far as the challenges that, you know, leaving his friends, leaving his mom behind. I'm like, hey, it ain't about right now, you know, because of course everybody gonna miss you right now, but you know they'll appreciate it in the end. So that was the biggest thing in my challenge, man. Just taking them away from, you know, the hometown, the family, the school. That's the biggest thing, the school, because I would love for him to graduate from Rayville, you know, being that our family, you know, we just Rayville, our family graduated. So that just mean a lot, you know, but I battle with myself even coming back, just talking to Coach Bursey about everything, because I originally, the plan was when Coach Bursey was there, give a lot of respect to him, I was supposed to go coach, we was in the talks, I was gonna go coach college ball, and then after I told him, after I graduated, you know, he wanted me to come back, but he ended up leaving like right after I came back, and because I wanted to coach Tay, and moved up here for that opportunity. So I say that'll be the challenge, man. Just taking him away from home, kind of tradition being that our family played there, and just wanted to see him in the green and gold. So but at the end of the day, you know, it's about the end goal.
Yeah. You know, man, it's
so
go ahead, Tay.
Like the challenge for me, like backed off what he said, you know, is like being from Rayville, you know, you want to be in Rayville all the time. So like you want to be in Rayville, you want to play for Rayville, you want to do everything in Rayville. So with that, it was like I didn't want to leave. Like it's like I wanted to leave because I knew it wouldn't have ended like it wouldn't be going how it's going right now for me if I would have stayed in Rayville. So that's what I had to make a decision on and make sure like it ain't, like you said, it ain't about now. It's about the end goal. So I made a decision and like I all the family made a decision, and they felt that it would have been way better if I would have, moved up there with him. So, like, and it's been the best decision that the family ever made, like, honestly. So it was like, yeah, like the challenge was hard, getting used to it out here and all that,
Yeah.
But it ain't nothing we can't get used to, right? So we, like when we came out here, like first came out here, switched the corner, like he switched me to DB, like, because like you say, it ain't too many and quarterbacks in like Texas, period. So like going to college anyway, So it was like, man, I was like, yeah, man, might as well, because I ain't trying to get hurt. Like, it'll be better for me overall, to play corner. So like we started training that corner, like it's been like it's just been a journey from there. Like it's just went up ever since.
Yeah. Hey, Boogie, back kind of, I'm going to come back to you a little bit, but Boogie, back to you. Really what you did is you gave him exposure, man. Wherever you was at, you just brought him there, let him be around the cast that you was coaching, let him work out, let him see different places, and a lot of times in life when you're giving an individual exposure like that, it really starts to open their eyes to other things in the world that's going on and not really functioning out of a box. So that's huge for you to give him that exposure like that. That's kind of similar to JW. Like everywhere I played, I would bring Jay wherever I was at. And whether he came to a game or he just came to the city and not even go to a game, just him seeing something different and thinking outside of the box. So again, salute you for doing that. And I tell you, I'm gonna tell you something about you. I'm gonna tell you something about that I recognize about you just by you starting off at the beginning of this podcast and tell me how you got whooped. First you left Rayville then with the Texas.
Yeah.
Then you switched a whole position. You went from offense to defense. And then you admitted, like, man, I was getting whooped. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it shows me how resilient and how tough you are, because now when people see the highlights, right, they see, like, you really stepping into your own, you being confident, right? Like your swagger that's on the field, but they see the movie. They don't see all the things that went on behind making a movie. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like the edit, cut, mess up on this, mess up on that, you get whooped. So for you to keep coming back to the field and going back into the weight room and training with your uncle and knowing he gonna be tough on you, you know what I'm saying? He got to make sure, because he got to have that fine balance, I'm pretty sure, of loving you, but also being tough on you as well. So you just got whooped by this receiver, then you got to come in there, you got to hear him, talk to you or whatever, right? Like you got to come back on the field the next day. Like mentally, dude, I salute you for you to have that the physical is important, but mentally being able to tap back into what you need to tap into. And I think people don't understand that from a sports side of it, because it's one thing to be going out there winning and come back on the field, but when you get whooped, I gotta go back out there, and I gotta get my confidence and my composure. So again, man, I salute you and Boogie just on how challenging that is in the position both y'all were in. And Tay, again, to you, just your mental capacity to be able to deal with taking losses and switching positions and still going back to the drawing board, working on your craft. You know what I'm saying? Just critiquing your craft a little bit and working on it. So salute you again on that.
Yeah, you said the word exposure earlier. I heard it said something where exposure leads to expansion, right? So him being exposed to bigger, better. First of all, we did come from Rayville. We used to have to go play Boogie. I wasn't playing Delta no more. Egg and I used to have to go play Delta, right? And you want to talk about, you might as well play in the yard. Like it ain't nothing. It's a cornfield right here, and then it's they little field right here. And we used to go play at McCall, right? Put ants on the bus. You know what I'm saying? It'd be cats sitting in the tree, literally. Cats in the trees. When you got to walk through the fence, cats in the tree throwing stuff at you, talking noise to you. But when you go to Texas, man, I graduated from Southern, right? It's campuses out there bigger than my college. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, wow, all this, right? And then him getting exposed to these different teams, the names he get to say that he had to compete against, right? you get exposed to all of this, and now your game then expanded because you working harder. You see where the level at. I gotta match this. I gotta beat this. So that's big. And the next thing is, if y'all ain't learned nothing else, or Tay, if you ain't learned, I'm sure Boogie know already. Most of the time, where it's a challenge, it's a chance to grow, right? And so y'all meeting that challenge head on, like we're gonna hit this head on. You started out getting whooped, right? It was hard at first, seemed hard, you missing everybody, but look at what's happening right now, right? Going into your last year, 19 offers on the table. Everybody on the screen played football, right? Boogie went on, played in college. I stopped after high school. I was a 16-year-old senior. I was decorated. Edgar was decorated. Went on to the league. When none of us getting 19 offers, right? When none of us as decorated as him, we wasn't going to these camps. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't like that, but you are. And so with that could come pressure, right? Because everybody looking at you. But one thing I do see him doing though is answering that bell every time. You know what I'm saying? Every time I see him on film, man, he doing something to jump out at you, whether it's in the weight room, whether it's at a camp, whether it's at a 7-on-7. He high pointing the ball over somebody that's 6'3", 6'4". I guess what I'm saying is, Edgar, I don't know if you can lay under 315 today, because Edgar wasn't a weight room warrior, right? But I seen that little fella lay under 315 and get it up off of him, you know what I'm saying? At DB in high school, that's pushing it. I wouldn't push a 315 coming up. Maybe Nacho would, but I wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? I can do it now, but I'm a grown man. You know what I'm saying? So you're a one of one. And I just want you to know that you still with us.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I see we had lost the screen, but so have you been feeling any of that pressure? I guess is what I'm getting around to asking. Has there been any pressure that's coming along with getting these offers now, visiting these bigger schools? Are you feeling any pressure from that, or is it just an everyday thing now?
It's pressure, like it's a little pressure, you know, like if the expectations now. So it's like, oh man, if I'm going to this school, and I see they guys, you know, it's like, yeah, I gotta step it up, you know. So it's like, it's about improving now. Like wherever I end up, you know, it's just I gotta hit it 100%, you know, get my all and just, you know, and keep working.
Yeah, it's cool. It's all right to feel that pressure. I think all of us feel pressure because we pressure ourselves because you're trying to do something great. And it's outside of football, just in life in general, right? Anytime you pushing to do something, you're gonna feel some pressure because you want to succeed. But one thing that I do know y'all been doing is putting the work in. So it ain't really pressure. It's almost like before the game start, right? And they playing the national anthem, you getting jittery, we throw the helmets up, you know, you feel all these butterflies. I don't know what's about to happen. And then kick off first hit. Now it's all instinct, right? I'm just moving out here. I'm being who I am. I can tell you one thing, when you go see them guys, they see you too. You ain't no puppet, right? To be 5'9" or whatever you weighing, you put together on it, man. And an explosive corner. That switch too, Book, I gotta tell you too, that switch was a smart thing because a lot of cats would have wanted to see him be on the offensive side of the ball. Not just quarterback, but it could have been because he has big playmaking ability, but receiver, maybe running back. But we know receivers and running backs at certain sizes come a dime a dozen. But when you switch it to corner, the size thing don't jump at you, but then the measurables do. The speed, the jumping ability, the strength, right? Now it takes you from being middle of the pack to top tier, right? So that was a smart move on your behalf too. What's been your favorite visit so far throughout this process?
I'm gonna say my favorite this far have been because like all the coaches, like they're really genuine guys, you know, and like they show like feel wanted, like they hit me up every day, just making me feel like loved, you know, like and they give me that family feel.
I got you.
Like they've been my favorite visit so far.
I got you.
Yo, go ahead, Corey.
Well, the last thing I'm gonna say is the importance of a positive male figure, right? The Christian stepping in, right? You got kids yet, Boogie?
Yeah, I got one.
You got one child now, boy or girl?
Girl, she 9 months.
Hey, congratulations on
Congrats,
that. I didn't know. Congratulations on that. But being present as a older male in a younger man's life, man, is everything, especially in our community. And I do see Aaron shout out to Aaron. So I see him at some of the visits with you. I see him posting you up proud, you know what I'm saying? But that's big to know, to look in the stands and know somebody out there watching you, or look to that sideline and see your uncle over there. So shout out to you for setting that example too, Boogie, because it's something that's something else we don't highlight much. You know, let it be told. The media say we don't take care of, we don't do that. You know what I'm saying? But here's a prime example of it and what could come from it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's big in his life. You giving them something else to look up to besides what social media, YouTube, new music, and all that stuff. Besides what it puts in front of them, right? If you wasn't around, if positive males wasn't around in his life, it's easy for that to take him this way, right? So that would have been easy for us to go left. You know what I'm saying? I could have went left a few times, but I knew Bo would kill me, so I stayed right. You know what I'm saying? So that's big. And shout out to you, Tay'Shawn, because we hadn't, with all the accolades you getting now and all the spotlight on you, if you would have messed up at any point and gotten to some, like they gonna push that out in front, right? So shout out to you for staying out of trouble, keeping your nose clean, man, doing your thing. And shout out to you, Boogie, for being that positive influence, that positive male influence in his life, man, because it's needed. It's big.
Appreciate that.
Yo, Tay, I got a question for you, man. What's your goal?
My goal is to do it big, you know. Like my goal is to make it to the league. So like my uncle said, like me and my uncle talk about, it was like, so if this your goal, you know, make it happen. Like don't have no, like he didn't say like don't have no, you know, plan B, you know, just in case, you know, say if I get hurt or something like that, you know. But it was like, if this my goal, you know, I have to make it happen, you know. So if that's my goal, I'm gonna do everything I can just so I can achieve the goal. And that's making the league.
What motivates you? Like, what's your why? And because you know that's the other thing. Like, ain't nobody making you get on the field. You know what I'm saying? So like, them long days and them long nights, man, that you training and going to practice and getting up early in the morning, all the things that we have no idea about, that only you and Boogie know about, right? And then actually some things that only you know about, like, what's your motivator? Like, why?
Like my motivation, my family, you know, because like at Rayville, you know, it's like I don't want them there, you know. So it's like I want to go for them, and also my little girl, I want to like she pushes me, like it's like every day, you know, like she 2 weeks and a half, so it's like every day, like I go out, it's for her and the family every day. So for them, I'm doing that. I'm going hard every day. Every time it's something like the workout, or I'm doing it 100%, and I ain't taking no days off.
That's big, man. Your why motivates you, and you can't motivate yourself. And sometimes it be like that. Like it's 100 degrees. You're going out on that turf, you know. You just, you know, you always go back to your why, man. Like why you do what you do. So that's great to hear that you got your why, man. And you know, just from back to you, you continue to keep that at the forefront of your life. You know what I'm saying? Yo, what do you feel like it is you need to improve on? Because I'm pretty sure you observed that and you watched that, right? Like, and then having your uncle around you, you know, it's easy to focus on your strengths, but we understand in sports, right? People gonna look at you and they gonna look at how I can beat you, right? They know what you do well, but like, how can I beat them? What do you feel like it is you need to improve on?
I feel, you know, I need to improve on, like, you know, how I go about, like, just decision making, you know, like on the field, like, I rarely take chances, you know, like I had a chance to like intercept the ball, like, and I knock it down to something like that. But, you know, it's just like my decision making and just the effort, like 100%, like every play. So, and also, you know, it's just, you know, little things at DB, you know, that'll get me beat. So that's definitely some things I want to, you know, improve on.
Yeah, continue to keep doing that, man. I mean, that's important in life. I mean, we go back and we think about film study. The purpose of film study is to be able to watch your opponent and see what they do and what they struggle with, and then actually what they do well. And then there's also the importance of film studies, being able to watch yourself, you know, and be like, hey, how can I improve? How can I continue to work on myself? I know the only, you know, I can give you a lot of advice, but one thing I continue to say to you, man, is find that person on the field or that other athlete, and observe and watch them and see what you can learn from them. You know, the goods, the greats, and just continue to be a student, man. Continue to keep, and I can tell you on that frequency level now, you know, the way you think and the way you looking at situations, and then having your uncle as well to be able to have an impact in your life. But just continue to be a student, man. You know, goals are made to be completed. I make a goal, right? I make it to the league. Now what? You know, I make 8 years in the league. Now what? I make Pro Bowl. Now what? Right? I get 19 offers. Now what? But I ain't never heard nobody say they tired of growing. You know what I'm saying? That growth will always have you looking for, like, what's the next thing? What's the next thing I need to keep looking at? So, man, just continue to keep doing what you're doing, man. You know, it's and then, you know, when we talk about pressure, you knew the pressure was gonna come. Pressure was actually you leaving Rayville and getting on the football field, going from quarterback to quarterback. That's pressure, you know. But I think about, and I'm pretty sure your uncle can add to this as well, Courtney. I think about the pressure that I've been in. I always go back to, man, I've been training. I've been working. You know what I'm saying? So I go back to my preparation. If your preparation is good and your preparation is tight, when a moment of opportunity is in front of you, it's normal. It's normal to be nervous. It's normal to have, you know, like, oh man, I feel like, you know, a little fear I have right now, you know what I'm saying? But then you always go back to, well, I've been working. I've been taking care of business. So that always kind of brings that back down for you, man. So I salute you, dude, for real.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, pressure extremely important, right? That's when you find out what you made of. We want to find out what water can do. Put it under extreme heat, it'll boil, right? And then turn to steam. You put it under extreme cold, it's gonna turn to ice. It's a use for all that, right? Sometimes you need all of them, but you only find out what it can do once you put it under pressure. So you being under pressure right now, and you still performing how you perform, and staying humble, still working like you're working, it lets us know what you made of. Edgar started out before we even started recording and said he knew you didn't really know him. So your goal that you want to do, he did that already, 7 years in the league. The reason we know that you can do it is because all that natural stuff you got going on, he ain't had none of that, right? He did have 6'3", 230 or so coming out of high school. He had that, but what Edgar did was worked his ass off extra, way more than we did. His behind the scenes was extra, and that took him all the way. So with you putting in that same kind of work behind the scenes, and you got what you got going, sky the limit. It's all about you, though. My advice would be, everybody gonna be saying league, and that's your goal, right? What college you going to? Big school, league. Don't let it get too big. Keep it simple, right? Next day, next play, next decision in your mind every day, right? It ain't really about the big. That don't exist yet. You making the future right now, right? Future, I like to say the future don't exist, because it don't. What we doing right now, just building up, you know what I'm saying? So keep making the right decisions, because it's gonna be, we make them all day long, every day. You get up in the morning, man, I don't feel like getting up today. Your other side, man, get your ass up. You know what I'm saying? Make the right decision every time. The next one, make sure it's the next right decision every time. And that's gonna carry you the way you want to go, right? We can sit here and tell you all day, you great, you doing great things, right? But we can't watch our own movies. So a lot of times you don't know it, you just being you, right? That's my next piece of advice. Keep just being you. You'll start getting compared to people, Patrick Petersons and all this, because your speed and strength. You start getting compared to these DBs that's in school now that's coming out now. Just keep being the best Tay'Shawn. Keep it simple. Next play, next decision, right? Look back on the challenge that you had when you first moved. You see how much you've grown from going through that challenge. So every time you meet one, knock it out. Just run into it. That's something I see you do too. Yeah, every cone ain't coming up to lay that lumber. You coming up to you coming up to lay it. That's that old school stuff. That's the Rayville side of things. So even though you left Rayville, you had to leave. There's certain stuff that's in you that come from that place, man. I tell you, everybody, everywhere I go, I done been a lot of places. Edgar had, Boogie had. It ain't no place like that little magical place we come from. You know what I'm saying? And we steady producing it. And you're gonna carry that torch, right? And understand that your daughter, your family, they watching you, but it's other cats out there. It's cats that probably would have went the other way, went to the streets and stuff, get to watch a Tay'Shawn Wilson from Rayville get all these offers, then go to a big school, then go on to the league, right? When you can look at somebody that look like you and from where you from, right? And say, well, he did it, then that lets you know the next person can do it. That's something you're gonna carry whether you like it or not. Edgar carried it, right? It's a lot of cats saw Edgar Jones do it and then was like, man, you know what I'm saying? He gone to the league. Edgar went right behind Edgar, Murphy. You got your Kenny Bells, your Chris Tollivers, all on the line. They just start dominoing. But that's because we saw one do it and it's like, okay, floodgate open, right? You, Anicha Sledge, right? Xavier Bryce, right? These Rayville products, big time though. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Keep on carrying that torch, man. Keep doing what you're doing, Boogie. I can't shout you out enough, man, for taking it on. Cause like Edgar said, you was a bastard. You was out, you know what I'm saying, living your life, doing your thing, making money. You know what I'm saying? Staying where you want to stay, coaching, doing what you want to do. And you say, hey man, I see Lil one need me, and we're gonna make this happen, and it's happening. So shout out to both of y'all, man. Boogie, you want to have in the closing remarks? Man, Edgar, wrap this thing on up, but shout out to y'all.
Again, man, like I say, yeah, I get a lot, you know, for doing what I did for Tay, but I would like to give a big shout out to my brothers, Prin and Didi. You know, around the town, they don't get looked at, you know, as the proper role models, but man, them dudes are role models for me because they taught me what not to do, you know, the stuff they did, you know, the good stuff, the bad stuff. I was blessed to have a proper mindset to look at everything in a positive aspect. And when I seen they do something and mama didn't appreciate it, I was like, okay, show me what not to do. And that's why I try to be with Tay, man. Like I try to be real, authentic with him, just like Print and Didi was, you know, with me. They ain't no shot, you know, try to hide, you know, what they was doing or stuff, all that type of stuff, you know, what they was doing. I ain't trying to hide it. So they were just being real so I could see it and see the good and the bad of it. And you know, so and that's the same way I want to be with Tay. So I try to preach that the same way. And I want to give a shout out to Edgar too, because I was one of them kids, man. I live right in front of y'all. So I was one of them kids who looked up to you. So that was huge, man. I still remember your camp you had, and you brought your boy McLean and a couple more guys. Yeah. And that really pushed me. And when you did that, it kind of gave me the light And that's why I model my life like it ain't about me. And just that talk from those guys went a long way because I've lived like I went to go play college ball, but to be honest, it wasn't for me. I was really good academically. So like I could do whatever I want because I had the brains for it. So I went to go play college ball just to show the kids in Rayville that somebody else could do it, you know. And that's why I always try to come back and give as much knowledge as I can, because at the end of the day, I always knew it wasn't about me. It was about the next. And that's the same thing I try to do with Tay, man, and tell the young guys back home that like, even though it feel like it's about you, it's really about the next. It's like what you could do for the next. And I know if I can help Tay, take his game to the next level, it's still little kids, even though Tay not in Rayville right now, it's still little kids in Rayville that look up to him, and they still look up to me and they reach out. So just, even though, I'm not there, just still trying to make an impact, through like help, me and Tay make an impact to Rayville. So yeah, God, I appreciate that, man.
Hey, no problem, man. I had no idea that had the impact on you, so I appreciate you, dude, for letting me know that. Thank you. I appreciate it. I had no idea, man, so salute you again.
Yeah, man. Y'all shout out to Print D, right? So shout out, rest in peace, my boy Wooker. The same way with me, right? That's real love when your people do something a certain way and they see something else on you and tell you, nah, you know what I'm saying? You good at this. We're gonna still show you this, but this ain't your lane. That's your lane over there. That's real love, right? So take anybody you ever around, you're gonna be around a lot of people. If they trying to get you to go left, they don't love you for it because they see what you do. Tay play ball, take care of his child, he doing his thing. Let that be your lane, right? And then, like I said, outside of football, if football don't ever work out, you still special, right? Because you can see something and attack it and make the best out of it. Football aside, you can do that with any other thing in life. Your uncle just told Scholastic, that was my thing. I attacked that, right? More so than my brothers, I attacked that hard because that was my thing, right? This is your thing, and whatever you want to do. Because football lasts this long. Even if you go to the league and have a good 10-year career. Eric can tell you, it came and went. And now life here, now that daughter of yours gonna be in her teens. And that ain't like no receiver you ever faced in your life, because I got two. You know what I'm saying? One approaching teens, one about to be 20. Erica got one of her teams. Life gonna give you some challenges, but you gotta approach them the same way you approach the game. You want to be great at it, you gotta work behind the scenes, right? You're gonna have to make some sacrifices. Sometimes it's gonna beat you, but you gotta get back up and go. That's why I love football so much. Erica and I talk about it all the time, man. Somebody run you over, flatline you, right? And the whistle blow. And all in this split second, you think, damn, I just got my head knocked off. Hurt too. But guess what? The whistle blew. Everybody getting back lined up. So we got to get up and do this again. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to win this time, right? Keep that in mind. Keep being you. You know what I'm saying? Boogie, keep being you. Keep on molding man, because that's what you're doing. Whether it's training, coaching, teaching, Tay, others, right? You're a molder man. Egg and I actually look up to you because it's something we talk about, getting back into coaching and doing this later on, right? You're doing it right now. So that's big. Shout out to you. Tay, keep being great. Don't worry about Rayville. Rayville gonna be behind you. We proud, you know what I'm saying? And just keep doing what y'all doing, man.
Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all, man.
We appreciate you.
No problem, man. Appreciate you.
Well, it's the L.I T Code. We out.